Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Thursday, April 4th, 2024. If you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my rundown best bet in the MLB, you can find those in the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, we got a small card for Thursday in Major League Baseball. Here are the games. Next up, we see the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Washington Nationals. Martin Perez and Josiah Gray are your starters. I'm looking towards the over in this day game at Nationals Park. Josiah Gray, a couple of years ago, actually pitched a lot better in day games than in night games. But last season, it was kind of flipped. He struggled a little bit in those day games at an ERA above 4. He's always struggled at Nationals Park. He's just not somebody that pitches too well at a more hitter-friendly ballpark. And, I do think the Pirates, an offense that's really been solid to start the season, should be able to get to him for a few runs. But even if they're not, Josiah Gray has a lot of talent. There's been times where he goes out and gives the Nationals 6 shutout innings with a ton of strikeouts. We could see a start like that, but then the Nationals bullpen comes into the picture, and that's where I think the runs will come from the Pirates. This is a Nationals bullpen that I had big expectations for in terms of, having a improving season, but so far, not what I want to see. The Pirates, I think, will be able to get to him. On the other side, Martin Perez, while he pitched well in that first start of the season, still not my favorite starting pitcher to back. His control was off a bit in that game against the Marlins. 4 1/3 innings, 3 walks, only those 2 strikeouts. He's a pitch-to-contact guy, but when you give up 6 base hits and those 3 walks, you only can get out of so many jams, and I think the Nationals will be able to get to him. Another team that does a good job of limiting strikeouts, so I think this Nationals lineup is going to be really improved this season. They haven't really hit their stride yet, but I think they will eventually. I'm going to go with the over here in Pirates-Nationals. Next up, we see the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Minnesota Twins. We're going to see Tanner Bybee and Pablo Lopez as your starters. This is always a fun series to watch, a very competitive series in the AL Central. And, Pablo Lopez, I still think by far the best option in this Twins rotation. He looked really strong in that first game against the Royals lineup. I think it's really improved this year, so that's pretty impressive stuff from Lopez. He faced the Guardians a few times last year, and the Twins were 2-1 in those starts, including a 20-6 win against the Guardians back on September 4th. That was a game where Giolito pitched for Cleveland and really struggled early on. But while Lopez is a strikeout-dependent guy, and the Guardians do a good job at limiting strikeouts, so he could have some problems there. I don't think it's going to be his best start of the season, but I think it's going to be a good enough start to give the Twins a lead. I think they'll be able to get to Bybee for a few runs. And this Twins bullpen, right now is #1 in baseball in projected WAR. So while they have some injuries, they're still a really solid bullpen. And I think that the Guardians are a really tough team in the late innings. If it's a close game, they're very, very they rally. They, like I said, they don't strike out much. So if they get on base, they steal bases. They play small ball really well. But I still trust this Twins bullpen to get the job done. This is just, like I said, it's going to be a really entertaining game to watch, but I'm going to give the edge to Minnesota at home. This is also not the best spot for Cleveland as they open the season with 2 West Coast series, against the A's and Mariners. No days off in between having to play this game in Minnesota, still without their, home opener. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Twins in this one, the home opener. Next up, we see the Miami Marlins taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Ryan Weathers and Lance Lynn are your starters. 2 starting pitchers that had really opposite results in their first starts of 2024, while Lance Lynn against one of the best lineups in baseball and the Dodgers went 4 innings, shutout baseball, 5 strikeouts. Ryan Weathers took the loss against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He went 4 innings of 3 earned run ball, 7 base hits, 2 walks. He had 5 Ks, so he was missing some bats. And, we've seen some solid outings from him in his major league career, but we've also seen a lot of inconsistency. We've seen him get shelled at times, and the control is always a concern with Ryan Weathers. I think the Cardinals are the better lineup right now by far. This is one of the worst teams in baseball right now, the Miami Marlins. They've really struggled to start this season. On the road against St. Louis, I don't think it's a very good spot for him. I think it's going to be a challenging series, and I think the Cardinals take the first game at least. Give me the Cardinals on the money line. Next up, we see the Chicago White Sox taking on the Kansas City Royals, the final game for the Thursday card and the only evening game on the board as well. Michael Soroka and Seth Lugo are your starting pitchers in this one. Now, if you've watched the rundown so far, I'm pretty big on the Royals this year. I just think they're much improved. I like the moves that they made in the offseason, especially I think they had a really good lineup on paper. The pitching really needed some work, especially in the rotation. They made those moves. They bring in a guy like Seth Lugo. He pitched well in that first start against the Twins, 6 innings of shutout ball. He only had 4 strikeouts. He did have some sharp contact in that game. His defense really helped him out. So I could see him struggling, here and there, but I think this is a good matchup for him against the White Sox. And, Soroka did not pitch well in his White Sox debut. It was against the Tigers. He went 5 innings of work, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a home run, 3 walks. A big concern for me, 5 innings, no strikeouts. He wasn't able to miss any bats. And the Royals, they put the ball in play. They hit the ball really hard. They're right now actually third in baseball in isolated power against right-handed pitching. So they are, hitting the ball hard. They're hitting some homers and extra base hits, and I think they're going to be able to get to Soroka and this White Sox bullpen. I like the Royals in this first game on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games in baseball for Thursday. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.